So let's continue our conversation about applying for staff positions. Now, if you have not watched the first video in the series, this is a two-part series. If you haven't watched the first video, that's okay. I'll leave a link for you below. You can watch it as soon as you're done with this one. But on today's video, I thought I'd take a little bit of time and go over what you need to apply for staff positions. I'll talk with you about where you can find posted open staff positions. And I'll also give you a couple of hints to help you tighten up that application in the process. Stay tuned. Greetings all, I'm Dr. Xeturah Woodley. Good to see ya. All right, on today's video, I'm going to take some time and continue the conversation that I'm having about applying for staff positions at community colleges and at universities. Now, in today's video, I'm going to start off by talking a little bit about those items that you're going to need in order to apply for positions. So let's start there. Okay, so first of all, what you're going to need is a resume. Now, I know in all the videos I've produced about applying for faculty positions, I encourage you to have a CV. Some of the staff positions you apply for will ask for a CV, but most will be asking for a resume. So one of the things you're going to want to do is condense down your CV. On your resume, you want to really focus on your experience as it relates to the position that you're applying for. So you're going to definitely want to have a resume. You're also going to want to have a cover letter for the positions you're applying for. And I like to encourage people to tailor those cover letters to the position you're applying for the institution that you're applying for. So your cover letter will have specifics from the job description. You'll be addressing specifics from there. You'll also be using the institution's name and the position name and number, if you can, in your cover letter. So you'll definitely want to have a resume, a cover letter, and also you need a list of references. Now, let me give you a little bit of information about where you can locate these staff positions. Okay, first up, I'm going to say take a look at LinkedIn. LinkedIn is a great place to find staff listings. More and more institutions are using LinkedIn in order to fill their positions more quickly. So I'm going to say the best places to look would be LinkedIn. I'm going to give you a pro tip now. Because you're using LinkedIn in order to find a position, make sure that you have updated your LinkedIn information so positions can be sent to you as well. Now, the second place I'll tell you to take a look is directly on the institution's website. So if you are looking for a position, say at the University of Hawaii, then what you'll want to, yes, I've looked there before, let's just be honest. I've applied for positions at the University of Hawaii too. So you'll want to take a look at their website specifically. And I'll talk with you about University of Hawaii, for example. They are known for just posting information on their institution website and maybe one or two other places. And so you always want to go and look at the institution's website because that will be the most current postings for a lot of institutions. And they may have positions posted there that they wouldn't have listed on LinkedIn or another search engine. All right, so the other place I'll tell you to go and take a look at is HigherEdJobs.com. Now, you know, that's my go-to. I talk with you about that, using that website when it comes to looking for faculty positions. I'm also going to recommend you take a look at that website when it comes to staff positions, especially those staff positions that may be hard to fill at particular institutions, remote staff positions. They have a lot of great listings there on HigherEdJobs.com, and those listings that may be open for a while. Checking them out on HigherEdJobs.com is a great place to look for some staff positions. So what I'm going to do now is I'm going to take you over to these three websites and let me show you what kind of positions are open right now on these websites. So first up is LinkedIn. So to do a search for jobs on LinkedIn, you just go here to the search area. And as you can see, I've already started doing some searches on student services jobs for you. So we'll go ahead and click student services jobs. or type that in, and then you can filter it. And these are the results that have come up for remote positions. Let's look and see if we see any of interest. There's only 5 results. Let's make it a little bigger. Let's actually look for hybrid positions. A hybrid position is one of the things I think I talked about in the last video, where sometimes you'll be remote, sometimes you'll be face-to-face. Yeah, this is significantly larger. Look, let's see. Student services, extended opportunity specialist. Salary is 29 to 39. If you're already living in California, that might be good. If you're moving to Berkeley, I'm telling you right now, that's not very high. I know it looks high if you're here in New Mexico, but if you're living in Berkeley, the cost of living might be killing you on that one. Let's keep looking. And there are just some really good listings here. This would be a good one. Working as an academic advisor at San Diego State University. This one looks pretty good. It lists all the key responsibilities, tells you what your expected work time would be, education and experience, what's required. So LinkedIn, as you can see, is a really good resource for finding staff positions. Now, I'm going to take you over to CU Boulder's job search engine so that you can see what kind of jobs if you're going to the institution's website. So here's the job listings at the University of Colorado, CU Boulder. As most of you know, I'm from Colorado. So if I was going to move back to Colorado, I would probably be looking at CU Boulder. Again, you can use the filters in order to filter down to staff positions and click search. And then as you scroll down, the results will come up. So there's a grounds technician, financial service center manager. Oh, that might be a good one. So if we want to learn more about it. But look, the posting closed. Okay, so here's a hint for those of you in job searches. If the date this got posted was May 13th and it closes about 7 days later, that means that they probably already have somebody in mind for that position. Now, I don't know for sure, but anytime there's a 1-week listing, they're probably expecting to get a lot of applicants and they may already have somebody in mind. I don't know CU Boulder for sure, but that's one of the things I've learned over the years. Let's try and see if there's another one we can look at. What about this program manager at the business college? This is open for about 2 weeks, just over 2 weeks. I'd still consider it if I met their qualifications. They list all the qualifications. And here it talks about salary. Again, it's higher education, people. This is how we get paid, right? $61,000 to $65,000 may not be that much money living in Boulder, Colorado. So you got to look at salary, you got to look at qualifications, all of those kinds of things for the positions. So as you can see, going to the institution's website is another great way to find out about what positions are open. And then I'm going to show you on HigherEdJobs, where you're going to look here is under administrative positions, and then it lists it based on the division or the area. So there's faculty affairs if you want to work in that. Athletics, if you want to work in athletics, here is where you find coaching jobs. The bursar financial services area, computer information technology. Let's look at if you want to be an IT director, because those salaries usually are pretty competitive. You can sort them by location, positions, a director of workday student, remote job at the University of Arkansas. That one might be good. 131 to 115,000. They have done a good job of listing what the duties and responsibilities are, as well as the qualifications, right? If you want to apply, you just click apply now, and it will either take you to the institution's website or you're able to apply on the HigherEdJobs website. Okay, so now let me give you a couple of final tips for applying for those staff positions. Tip number 1 is hire an editor. Now, it's really important for you to put your best foot forward when applying for these positions. So when I'm saying use an editor, I'm saying use one to proofread and help you pull together your resume, help you with your cover letter, someone that is willing to look at your references list, make sure there's no spelling errors, no grammatical errors. Just having an editor, someone, a second set of eyes, if you will, to look at your materials can make a huge difference. Okay, now I'm going to recommend that you do some mock interviews. Now, why is that important? Well, if you have not interviewed for a staff position before, or you haven't interviewed in a while, it makes a huge difference for you to just take a few minutes, take some time with people that you trust in order to practice answering interview questions. So you can pull together some of your colleagues if you're just finishing up a doctoral program. Let's say that you've been in a part-time faculty position for a while, and now you want to apply for a staff position. Doing mock interviews with colleagues, doing mock interviews with friends, with people that can help give you some coaching will put you more at ease when it's time for you to go into the interview. But it'll also give you some meaningful feedback that you can improve your answers, improve who you're being in the interview. So I'm always going to recommend that you do mock interviews. The third thing I'll recommend is that you address both of the minimums and the preferences in your cover letter. Now, I'm not saying your cover letter has to be 8 pages of you describing everything that already appears in your resume. Instead, I think that it makes a huge difference for the people that are screening your application if you speak quickly in your cover letter to how you meet the minimums, at least from your perspective, how you meet the minimums, as well as how you feel that you meet the preferences, or as many of the preferences as you can. The minimums are screened initially in order to determine who actually meets the minimums for consideration for an interview and for advancing in the search process. And then if there are too many applicants that meet the minimums, preferences are used to screen down who is actually going to get the interview. At least that is what happened in most of the hiring committees that I led. Okay, and the final tip is, I would say have supervisory references. Have the majority of your references or all of your references be past supervisors. You can use your current supervisor, but also be past supervisors. Now, if you're getting 3 of them, I'd say 2 of those references should probably be supervisors, if you can get those from your supervisors. The person that's doing the hiring official for most staff positions is the person that will be supervising that positions. In a lot of cases, it's the supervisor that does the hiring. And that supervisor wants to talk with other people that have supervised you to get insight about your work performance and how you might do in that particular job for them. And that is it for today's video. Now, I hope these tips and recommendations can make a big difference for you as you go through and apply for those staff positions at community colleges and universities. Now, if you have any questions about anything I've covered in today's video, please feel free to leave those in the comments below. I'll answer them as quickly as I can. Good luck in your search for a new position. Staff positions are great things to have at the institutions of higher education. Thanks for watching and have a terrific week. Hey, thanks so much for watching today's video. I appreciate you engaging with the content here on the Womanist Scholar. Now, if you haven't already done so, please feel free to click the like button and also think about subscribing. That way you'll be notified whenever another video like this one comes out. Thanks so much for watching and have a terrific day.